The doctor really thinks she needs to go to an institution? Does she need to go? Did he examine her?
Dr. Burke says she may be brain damaged. Slightly brain damaged. I told him he was slightly incompetent and hoped someday he'd be slightly dead. He claims not to know she was taking so much. That's why he's so eager to put her away. He's afraid of a malpractice suit. I told him I was considering it. Irresponsible shithead.
Why does he keep writing so many prescriptions? Doesn't he know?
It's not just him. She has a doctor in every port.
Here's how she does it. She sees a doctor for back spasms. He writes a prescription. Day or two later, she goes back and says she lost her pills. He writes her another one. Then next week, she's pulled a muscle. More pills. Then the dosage is wrong. More pills. Over and over until she's made one too many trips, and he says, I'm not prescribing anymore. She pulls a sheaf of prescription receipts out of her purse and says, I'll go to the AMA and have your butt in court for overprescribing me. She genuinely threatens these men and they give in to her.
You knew this was going on again. Different tactic today. Just at her wounded best. This wilting hothouse flower which made me look like Betty Davis. I tried to goad her into it, Let's give him the speech about the greatest generation. Tell him about the claw hammer. I was like that guy in the cartoon with the frog who only sung the hymn.
It wouldn't have done any good. Dr. Burke is part of the same generation.
Greatest generation, my ass. Are they considering all of the generations? Maybe there's a generation from the Iron Age that can compete. And what makes them so special anyway? Because they're poor and they hate Nazis? Who doesn't fucking hate Nazis? Remember when we checked her into the psych ward? That stunt she pulled?
Which time?
I wasn't there.
Big speech. She's getting clean. This sacrifice she's making for the family.
Right. She's let her family down, but now she wants to prove she's a good family member.
She smuggled Darficet into the psych ward. In her vagina. There's your greatest generation for you. She gave this speech all while she was clenching a bottle of pills in her cooch.
Did you just say cooch?
Well, the phrase mom's pussy seems a bit gauche.
So you're a little more comfortable with cooch, are you?
Well, what word should we use to describe our mother's vagina?
I don't know, but...
Mom's beaver, mother's box.
Oh, God.
Barbara! I'm sorry about you and Bill.
Me too, Barb.
If I had my way, you never would have known.
You think it's a temporary thing, or?
Who knows? We've been married for a long time.
Well, that's one thing about Mom and Dad. You have to tip your cap to anyone who can stay married that long.
Karen, he killed himself.
Yeah, but still.
Is there something going on between you and little Charles?
I don't think I'm comfortable talking about that.
Because you do know he is our first cousin.
Give me a break.
You shouldn't consider children.
Karen, I put those thoughts behind me a long time ago. Anyway, I had a hysterectomy last year.
Why?
Cervical cancer.
I didn't know.
Neither did I.
I didn't tell anyone except Charles. That's where it started between him and me.
Why not? Why wouldn't you tell anyone?
And have to hear it from Mom for the rest of my life? She doesn't need any more excuses to treat me like some damaged thing.
You might have told us.
You weren't going to tell us about you and Bill.
That's different.
Why? Because it's you and not me?
No, because divorce is a public admission of defeat. Cancer's fucking cancer. You can't help that. We're your sisters. We might have offered you some comfort.
I don't feel that connection very keenly.
Well, I feel very connected to both of you.
We never see you. You're never around. You haven't been around for...
I still feel that connection.
You think if you tether yourself to this place in mind only, you don't have to actually appear?
You know me that well.
No, and that's my point. I can't perpetuate these myths of family or sisterhood anymore. We're all just people. Some of us accidentally connected by genetics. A random selection of cells, nothing more.
When did you get so cynical?
It's funny coming from you.
Bitter, sure, but a random selection of cells.
Maybe my cynicism is flawed with the realization that the obligation of caring for our parents was mine alone.
Oh, please. I participated in every goddamn...
Until you had enough and got out. You and Karen.
I had my own family to think about.
That's a cheap excuse. as if by having a child alleviated you of all responsibility.
Oh, so now I'm being criticized for procreating.
I'm not criticizing. Do what you want. You did. Karen did.
And if you didn't, then it's not my fault.
That's right. So don't lay the sister thing on me now, all right? I don't buy it. I haven't bought it for a long time. And when I leave here and leave for good, I won't feel any more guilty than you two did.
Who says we didn't?
You're leaving here?
Charles and I are going to New York.
But what the hell are you gonna do in New York?
We have plans.
Like what?
None of your business.
You can't just go to New York.
This isn't whimsy. This isn't fleeting. This isn't like anything I've ever felt for anyone. What Charles and I have is rare and extraordinary. Something very few people ever have.
Which is what?
Understanding.
What about Mom?
What about her?
You feel comfortable leaving her here?
Do you? You think she was difficult while Dad was alive? Think about what it's going to be like now. You can't possibly imagine the cumulative effect after a month, after a year, after many years. And even if you could imagine, you can only imagine for yourself. For yourself, the favorite.
Christ. Mom pulled that on me the other day, that I was his favorite.
Well, that's not true. You weren't Dad's favorite. I was. You were Mom's favorite.
What?
Thanks, Ivy.
You don't think so? Good God, Barb, I've lived my life by that standard.
Mom said Dad was heartbroken when we moved to Boulder.
Mom was heartbroken. Dad wasn't. She was convinced that you left to get away from her.
If you were Daddy's favorite, you must have taken his suicide kind of personally.
Daddy killed himself for his own reasons.
What were those reasons?
I won't presume.
Aren't you angry with him?
No. He's accountable to no one but himself. If he's better off now, and I doubt he is, who are we to begrudge him that?
His daughters.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking furious. This selfish son of a bitch. His silence, his melancholy. He could have, for me, for us, for all of us, helped us, included us, talked to us.
What if you didn't like what you heard? What if the truth of the matter is that Beverly Weston never liked you? Never liked any of us. Never had any special feeling of any kind for his children.
You know that's not true.
Do I? How, do you?
You said you were his favorite.
Only because he recognized a kindred spirit.
Sorry, but your theory about this accidental genetics doesn't fly. Not with me. I believe he had a responsibility greater than himself. We all do.
Good luck with that.
I can't believe your worldview is that dark.
You live in Florida.
When are you and little Charles leaving?
Weeks, if not days. And his name is Charles.
Are you gonna tell Mom?
I haven't thought about it.
What about your job, your house?
I've been taking care of myself a lot longer than you've been in charge. Karen, you're going back to Miami, right?
Yeah.
There you go, Barb. You want to know what we're going to do about Mom? Karen and I are leaving. If you want to stay and deal with her, that's your decision. And if you don't like it, that's your prerogative. But nobody gets to point a finger at me. Nobody.